Today we're going to be using 100 grids like these to represent 1. So within each of these ones right here, there are 10 tenths. So right now I'm highlighting 1/10 or 0.1. So you can see that if I put 10 of these blue bars across here, it would fill up the whole 1. So each one of those is a tenth. Alright, I'm going to put that back for just a moment. And then let's look at our first problem. Our first problem is 3 times 0.4. So we want to figure out the answer to that. So let's look at what the whole number is and what the decimal is. The whole number is 3. 0.4 is the decimal we're multiplying. So what we want to make is 0.4 or 4 tenths. So I know that this is 1/10. To make it into 4 tenths, I would want to stretch this across to cover 4 bars. So that's 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths. And I can just drop it there. So this is 1 times 4 tenths. But I need 3 times 4 tenths, so I'm going to grab another one. I'll put it right there next to the first one, and do the same thing to stretch it across 4 tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now I have 2 times 4 tenths. I need 3 times 4 tenths, so I need 1 more. I'm going to bring this up and stretch it across. 1. Uh-oh, we can't go any farther. That's the end of our tenth. That's the end of our 1. We only got 2 tenths out of that one, so we're not done yet. We need to keep going into the other 100 grid. So I'm going to grab that same color to show that this is still the same 4 tenths. I had 1/10, 2 tenths, now I have 3 tenths, and now I have 4 tenths. So now I can see that this is 4 tenths, the green is another 4 tenths, and the yellow is our third 4 tenths. 3 times 4 tenths. Now, how do we use this to find our answer? Well, first, we're going to look and see how many whole grids we filled up. We filled up 1 whole grid. So I know that my answer is going to start with 1. But I also know that there's some leftovers here. So I'll need a decimal. And then I want to count how many tenths I used. 1, 2. So our answer is 1 and 2 tenths, or 1.2. Alright, so now let's look at the next line. This says blank groups of blank. Well, each of our groups was 4 tenths. And how many of them did we use? 1, 2, 3. So we had 3 groups of 0.4 or 4 tenths. Now down here there's an opportunity to use repeated addition. This is an alternative to using multiplication, where we're showing that we have 0.4 plus another 0.4 plus another 0.4. 0.4 plus 0.4 plus 0.4 is going to give us the same answer as 3 times 0.4. Either way, the answer will be 1.2 or 1 and 2 tenths. Alright, let's look at another one. Alright, now our problem is 7 times 0.3. So we want to make 3 tenths. We're going to do that just like we did the other one. There's 1/10. Now remember, we need to drag it over to cover 3/10. So right now we have 1 times 3/10. We're going to keep going. Another 3/10. Another 3/10. So we have 1, 2, 3. And how many do we need? 7. We're going to need 7 of these. So we definitely want to keep going. We ran out of space again. We can't just stretch that across. So we have 1/10. We want to take that same color. 2/10. 3/10. Alright. Let's see how many groups of 3/10 we have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to keep going to get to 7. One tenth, 2/10, 3/10. Grab a different color. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10. So now we've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 3/10. Now we're out of colors, but that's okay. We can just go back and use the first blue again to make our last group of 3/10. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10. Okay, now just like we did before, we're going to find our answer by first counting the whole numbers. I see one whole grid filled up and another whole grid filled up. 1, 2. So that's going to be the whole number in our answer. Then we want to figure out the decimal. Well, the decimal is what's left over. How many tenths did we use in this last grid? Just 1/10. Okay? Now, we have the blank groups of blank. So how many groups do we have? How many colors did we use here? We used 7 groups. And how much was in each one? 3/10, 0.3. Now, there's a really super long repeated addition problem here, where we can fill in that equation to show that 7 times 3/10 is the same as 3/10 plus 3/10 plus 3/10 plus 3/10. How many of these are we going to do? 7, because that's the problem here. So 0.3, 3/10, 3/10, 3/10. And now we have a repeated addition equation that is going to get us the same answer as our multiplication, 7 times 3/10. Alright, let's do one more together. This one is 2 times 8/10. First I'm going to grab this one, and I want to stretch it across so that it covers 8/10. So right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we have 8/10. That one didn't quite stretch all the way over. That's okay though. I can still show that it's covering 8/10. Now I need 2 of these, so I'm going to grab another color. And I want to cover another 8/10. 1, 2, ran out of space, so I need to come over here to the next one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So first we look at our whole numbers. How many wholes do we have? Just one whole. And then what's left is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tenths. So 1.6 or 1 6 tenths is our answer. So to find this, we made 2 groups with how much in each one? 0.88 tenths in each one of these 2 groups. And our repeated addition equation is 0.8 plus 0.8. Okay? So when you go to your quiz through the link in the next slide, it's going to look just like this. This is going to be your quiz, and it's going to look exactly like the ones we just did, except you're going to do them on your own. So complete it the same way. Be sure to hit submit when you're done, and then come back to Nearpod to complete the lesson.